Alright, Divine Source Spirit. All my angels, all my guides, all my spiritual teachers, all the shamans, gurus, high priests, high priestesses, the gods, the goddesses, the ascended masters, Galactic Federation, Councils of Light, Star Family, Soul Tribe. Calling everybody in for protection and guidance. Let's transmute all the energy from dark to light that's surrounding me in my auric field. Send any spell work, black magic, evil eye back to sender. Send any hexes back to sender. Send healing. I do not consent to any archon interference, no spirit monitoring, no projections, no scrying. Calling all my energy back to self, not allowing any energy siphons, energy drains. Please cancel, clear, cut any cords that have been attached to me. Please unbind me from any contracts unknowingly through my dreamscape. Wow, I'm already recording, so it already started recording on me again. It does this sometimes. I don't know if I should keep it or not. Let me just keep it, I guess. We'll keep it up. Some of you can see how I do my invocation. Different things that I do to reset my energy. Right. What else? I'm calling back all my power back to self and center. All fragmented pieces from all realms. From my astral travels. What else? I think that's it. Alright, let's go. Alright, so you can kind of see what I do, I guess. So yeah, alright, we'll just get started then. We'll see what channel messages come through. I was feeling to do some love card readings, right? As I said that I was going to, and then I got distracted in the physical realm, right? Things have really been coming at me, like literally, I've been just feeling a lot of these situations that have been going on lately. Like, I know they're big tests and they're orchestrated and set up for that way. Like, literally, sometimes I'm like, this is a fucking test right now. How I react and respond. Like, that is like, it's definitely testing me right now. Really trying to see how I am responding. Okay? And I've almost been like, this is set up like a fucking movie. Like, for real. Like, I know, like, I'm putting on a show. Some of you could be feeling like that because you could be realizing that, like, your life, that you are always being monitored. You are always being watched. Like, especially if you've chosen one. You know that... You know, you know the Matrix is, like, doing things, orchestrating things. You could be recognizing, like, a lot of the tests and everything. If you guys are wondering, this is obsidian. It helps me clear out my energy and all that, too. Yeah, like... And this is Florida water. I like to cleanse my energy space. Anyway, alright, so, you know, it makes perfect sense, too, with this being, with all the retrogrades that we have going on. I mean, Saturn's in retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde, right? So a lot of these things are like these big tests come about, right? To kind of see if you're ready for level ups. We also have, I think, Chiron has just gone retrograde, right? So wounded healings, that's why you could be getting a lot of triggers and stuff on wounds that you may have. Alright, and so those could be coming off as tests, right? I'm hearing master class. Like some of you definitely, like, you masters, right? You've reached levels of mastery just by proving these situations. Okay, so anyway, let's get into some love cards. See the vibe of the energy that's going on currently, right? Remember, these are collective, right? Not all of these going to be your story, right? This is a collective reading, so you're into the collective energy. So if you don't feel that a part is fitting for you, you feel it feels uncomfortable in your solar plexus, it ain't yours, okay? Know that. You're reading other people's energy. Okay, mindful presence came out. Practice mindful presence by being fully in the moment. Put away distractions, engage in meaningful conversations, and savor your time together. Okay? We got eternal conflict. Honor the deep connection within your partner by creating rituals that celebrate your love. Share daily affirmations and express gratitude for each other to strengthen your bond. Okay, we got joyful anticipation. Looking forward to the future with joyful anticipation. Plan your dreams together, set shared goals, and work together for a bright and fulfilling future. Okay, so these are obviously for some of you that are in connections, right? Things like that, as this is coming from Soulful Companion Oracle. I felt to put that with clarifying love situations. So like I said, if you feel that you're not with somebody, right, then these are energies for you to do on your own. Okay, honoring the deep connection within yourself, right? Realizing that you are whole and complete within yourself, right? Maintain a radiant positivity by focusing on the good in your relationships. Practice gratitude, celebrating small victories, and supporting each other's happiness. Maybe this could have to do with like relationships with family and things like that. So, cultivate boundless trust by being open and honest. Share your thoughts and feelings without fear. See and trust your partner's intentions. Wow, there's a lot. See, I mixed these decks, but I wanted to see how it went. But see, a lot's coming out with couples, and so I might have to keep them. I might have to keep these separate. Where for reading for those in relationships and stuff. But I'm new trying to get into these love cards. Safeguard steps. Sometimes to protect yourself is the bravest act is to walk away. See, that came out with a clarifying love situation. And these cards are neat because it's either two ways, the duality of positive or negative, and this one actually came out reversed. See, and upright is controlling. Power struggles lead to being manipulative. But see, this one says safeguard steps. Sometimes to protect yourself, the bravest act is to walk away. So what I'm getting at here is maybe some of you are feeling like you're needing to walk away from a situation to protect yourself, but not walking away thinking that you're not walking away like looking for a big dramatic ending. Like, you know, sometimes you need to have space and time away to be able to heal, right? And you need to realize, like, every relationship and situation that you encounter, it's to teach your soul's growth and evolution. For a lot of you, like, you're realizing you were learning through karmic lessons. Like I always said, that like if you can clear karma with somebody, you both can clear that karma and reset it, like, and you don't have that anymore, then you can be in union and unison and whatever. But more often than not, like, it doesn't always work that way, but you know. Anyway, what I'm getting, like, look, I'm wanting to pull my cards. What I'm getting though is, so for some of you, maybe you're realizing that, like, you gotta walk away, but you don't have to walk away with, like, thinking about things as being destructive. Like, sometimes, like, you gotta distance yourself for healing. Like, sometimes by doing that, it can cause the other to heal. Like, I heard the most perfect saying the other day. It had said, like, just because we're separating and moving on our separate ways doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop loving you. It means that I'm stopping the hurt. You know, like maybe changing, like maybe knowing that it's okay to still love somebody, but you got to love yourself more. You know, you have to love yourself. Like you have to have that self-love, and maybe, you know, because if you're not, then it's not a balance, you know? Like if you're staying in a situation for someone else, you're loving them more than yourself, so it's going to create more imbalances in your world, right? And that's why a big thing is like if you do that, you tell the universe, turn it down. You tell the universe that you're allowing it to be that way. And when you let like a lover lower, you giving them, you know what I mean, then it's going to create imbalances with like your children, your family. Then other people may feel as though, and it's not really their fault. You're allowing it because you're telling the universe like, oh, it's okay. Like I know that it doesn't seem like it works out that way, but because we are in an energetic like hologram, basically, like everything's like mirrored and shown, and it goes off energetic imprints. It's just the way that it's set up, right? So you do have to, that's why you have to balance the light and the dark. You do have to have where you use your shadow side. You do have to be able to stand up and have boundaries, like, and if somebody's challenging you in a certain way, not listening to you, then maybe you need to be more aggressive and more on your shadow side to balance that out. And that's where I feel tests are ongoing, and it's been a big test with me because the last couple of days there's been some where it's just like, was I letting the emotions get the better of me by how I was expressing myself, or is this happening because I'm needing to show more aggression because of this energy that's coming at me? You know what I mean? So, practicing gratitude, celebrating small victories. Okay. Boundless trust, cultivating boundless trust by being open and honest, sharing your thoughts and feelings without fear. Like for some of you, if you feel as though like you want to express something, but then you don't want to upset somebody, so you hold it back. You know what I mean? You're suppressing that. You're creating imbalances for yourself. And maybe sometimes if you feel like you can't express yourself to somebody, like verbally, because they're going to attack you, then find another outlet or a way to do that, right? Like by writing maybe a message, a text, an email, a letter. Even if you don't feel it's safe to give it to them at that specific time, maybe that's something like a note you could leave behind if you need to walk away. You know what I mean? Like just leaving, you know what I mean, where it helps to get things off of your mind, right? Okay, nose again, itchy. Let's get a few more from this, and I've got some other decks, right, that we'll see, or maybe I'll just go into those. Any more? Okay, we'll stop with these. So, more clarifying love situations. Delicate balance. Strike a balance between freedom and commitment. Oh my gosh, see? And entangled, establish and communicate your own boundaries. Damn, Spirit! If that wasn't pretty much what I was talking about, you're needing to do, right? You're needing to find a balance, right? Balancing your shadow, your light, your dark, right? Establishing and communicate. So for some of you, like, you're needing to find that balance too. As long as, like, you have control over your emotions, then you're all good. Right? I'm hearing it's all gravy, baby. I don't say that. So that's coming through for somebody, or one of my spirit guides just said that. But it's like, if you feel that, like, what I realized too is when I got like overly expressive and kind of got in my, because I know we in Leo season, right? So, and I got a lot of Leo, right? I got like a stellium Leo in my chart. So, there's a lot of Leo there, right? It's Leo season. I'm wanting to come out, right? And, so when I came out with like all my passionate energy, then all of a sudden I rolled it back. I was like, whoa, okay, let me bring it back down now. And I was like, I'm sorry, I got very, very expressive, but you know what I mean? You hit this subject, this subject, this subject, you know what I mean? And I brought it back down and balanced it out where it justified it for me. Even though the person might have been like, yeah, you bipolar, whatever, because you're just freaking out at me, but then now you're balancing out or whatever. But it's like you're finding that balance, right? And you're establishing those boundaries, and that's a beautiful thing, right? I liked how I reset my energy, and I'm like, instead of letting this like get me all riled up and angry, like I get it, like I needed to express my boundaries, and now I brought it back down, so now I'm good, right? Okay, now I don't want to put in this deck anymore. Okay, so let's look at some hidden hearts, hidden secrets. Okay. You see how that flipped over just like that? Divine feminine, young feminine energy. Maybe for some of you, this is finding a way to balance out more of your feminine energy. I know that I've been a lot of my masculine energy, as I always have been living life a lot through survival mode, right? Which a lot of us chosen ones and divine feminines have been. And that's been the biggest thing for us, is we've been needing to balance out our feminine energy so we're able to receive and we're not like coming at everybody with our swords up. See, so there's a strong energy, right? Looking to nourish self-growth, self-focused, and soul-finding. Wow, I love how those came out together. So for a lot of you, you're finding a way to nourish your divine feminine energy, being more compassionate. And that's something that I realized. I was just like, wow, I'm so defensive. Like, I got to where, like, and being a Cancer, right, it's more difficult to be expressive. Like, we lock our emotions down. We don't like to, because we get so emotional, that we don't like to really be expressive of them, right? So there's been a lot of times where I've been like, no, they can pour their heart out to me, but then I'm just sitting here like, like, I see that, like, thank you for that, but then I don't know how to say things. So lately I've been like, wow, like, yeah, I need to definitely, you know what I mean? I need to definitely be expressive. Like, seeing a mirror of me, of somebody that had such woundings that they couldn't be expressive. Now I see how cold and detached that they appear because they don't express their emotions. And then it's been like, wow, yeah, that's exactly how I am. Okay, so I need to open up more. Even though I thought, oh, I show affection all the time in a physical way. But, you know what I mean? That's just... And I don't always mean in a sexual mean. I just mean hugging, cuddling. Like, I can't tell you just, like, how many times, like, with my ex-lover, right? Like how much I'd always hug him and kiss him all over or whatever. But it was just, like, he wasn't seeing that as, like, she still ain't telling me. And I don't know if it's because he couldn't receive that. And he was just like, this is what girlfriends do. It's just because she loves to feel me close to her. I don't know. But it was, like... that was the way, like, I tried to show it without having to say it, you know? But it wasn't going through to him. To him, it's just still, oh no, it's one side. She's just doing all this because she wants loving. It's not, he wasn't realizing it. There is a big disconnect there. So I'm realizing, like, yeah, there's no getting around it. Like, I have to communicate. There's no going around this. Like, you know what I mean? So I've been like, okay, I need to find ways to express and come out of this, you know what I mean? And I realize it's about getting into that vulnerable energy, right? Escaping, avoiding, blocking, and pushing away. Wow, as a millionth man the whole time. So divine feminines, you've been avoiding, blocking, pushing away, and that's doing that shadow work. You know, doing shadow work is accepting that you have something about you need to change. You have work that you need to do, right? Oh, look, trapped, stuck, tied down, captive. Oh my gosh. Some of you could have been feeling in this energy. I mean, take this what you would. I mean, we are in the collective energies here, so maybe it's not going off of the 3 cards that I just said because I just pulled some more. Maybe for some of you, you feel as though you are trapped in a situation. Look, elusive, and there's a spider web here. Dishonest, deception, and trickery. Somebody could be keeping you trapped and stuck by, like, the lies that they've told or the web or whatever that they've spun or something like that. Somebody could be tricking you and trapping you in a situation. Emotional storm, turmoil. Like, somebody could be making you feel guilty too. I just got this energy of, like, maybe somebody's, like, trapping you. Like, she kind of looks like a child in a room. Maybe somebody's trapping you with children or something like that, or making you feel bad or bound. Like, I know that's a real big one, you know, with children and stuff, especially, like, the way me having to experience, like, what the law does. Like, I can't tell you, like, with this experience of, like, losing my home, my car, all of that, like, how much, like, it was the way that, like, they kept me down, controlling me with that, right? Because it's like anytime, like, my middle son, they probably hear in the background right now. Sorry about that if you hear him. But like he was always running off and running away and hiding and getting into all this trouble, and then it's like always like law enforcement always calling like, you have to come get your child right now, things like that. Well, when it's the middle of the night and you don't have a car and all of that, and I have other children, I can't just go jumping and live snoopers and all of this stuff to go get him, especially when he's hours away and all of this stuff. Then I've got police coming at me like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna report this to DCF, and they're on time too, like, oh, we've had him in custody for this long, like you only have a certain amount of time, you've got to get to us or whatever. Or yeah, we're going to report you as, you know, being an unfit parent, child abandonment, da 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 da. They threaten you and all of this stuff, right? Where, you know, that's what I mean. Like it can really make you feel, you know what I mean? Very insecure. So like I'm getting this energy of somebody's like feeling trapped or whatever because of like needing to have like car transportation, like making you feel like, you know what I mean? Especially like imagine me trying to get away with all of that. And you know what I mean? Like, you know, especially if you've got to disconnect from everybody and you've got no resources and help and all of this. Like, so there's this energy of like a lot coming up against you, warfare. I don't want to put too much of my personal situation in here. Look, abandoned, left out, walking away, and cold. So for somebody, they could have been doing this to you, pulling on wounds, making you feel abandoned, making you feeling left out. But see, it's like overcoming these things. Look, decision, hot, cold, multiple choices, and conflicted. Okay, so see, these are a lot of different energies. Look, distracted, sidetracked, change, delays. So you could be getting clarity. Look, cloudy, judgment, illusions, unbalanced, and distorted. So for a lot of you that were feeling like not knowing how to get out of situations, not knowing how to get out of way. Wow, I can see. I'm going to have to limit how I pull these cards. There's a lot of different energies. We got spying here, shallow, healing. Okay, these be getting wild over here. So there's, yeah, I got to be careful how I pull all these. So that's what I mean. Somebody is feeling like all these different energies, and a lot of this is a spiritual warfare too, and all the different attacks. Like literally, I've been watching it. At one point, like so many different things were going on. And I just sat back in the moment just like watching it all, and I was just like, wow. So they're coming at me, they're coming at me, they're coming at me, and I was just like, and none of this is going to hit me. I was just like, I'm not going to let any of it. Like, I'm going to stay calm because I can literally see how all of this stuff is trying to create these storms, is coming at me, trying to trap me, trying to do all of this. And no, I'm not going to let it all. You know what I mean? Like, I literally got to where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take some time. I'm gonna talk with Divine and see how to best handle this situation. And this was around the situation I was just talking about where I was like, nope, I'm not going to let this scare me. I'm not going to. And it's one of these things where I was trying to figure out how to get my kid or whatever. And, I was getting all of these threats, all these situations, right? And I could see it was triggering on my abandonment, right? Because we had just recently separated. We weren't talking and all of that. And, and I was all alone and stuff, and talking with Spirit, and I was finally like, I give this to you. I don't know how to handle this situation. I give it to you. Help me find the way or whatever. Well, literally, like, it was handled within a couple hours. Literally, all of their threats and everything that they tried, calling DCF, all of that, they did. But you know what? DCF still came out, and they helped me. And they were like, no, we can see that you're a loving mom, that you're not trying to abandon your kid, you're struggling right now. You know what? We're going to help you. And they helped me and arrange for transportation, arranged for me to get a ride and all of that stuff to go get my son that was like 4 hours away. You know what I mean? To bring him back home and all of that. And like, that was the end of it. And I was like, oh yeah, because I didn't give up my faith. I didn't give up into the fear base, all the drama, all the chaos. I didn't let that consume me, break me down or whatever. I kept my faith and it was handled. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh. So over the past 2 years, all the times that, all the threats, if I don't get down in a couple hours, that literally it all happened anyways, and like it was all resolved too. You know what I mean? So for some of you, like, you're realizing, like, they use a lot of the threats. And I've literally had there's been times where I've had some law enforcement, whatever, like, they come at me all aggressive and whatever, and then they arrange for transportation and help, because this isn't the first time my kid's, like, took it off. But this was the time where it was just like he was too far out and like they weren't willing to help her. But what I'm getting at is there's times that I've literally had some like law enforcement that I could tell were like angels, right? And they're like, you know, we have to come off aggressive this way because there's just too many parents that don't care, and there are the ones that don't care, whatever. And you know, so we have to come off that way, and we can't help everyone, but there are things that we can do in situations. So, you know, you gotta not give in to fear, right? And these things, because I feel that this is going to align with some that are going to need it, right? That are in struggling situations, that are getting attacked or whatever. And I know it's not just because, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, well, things always work out for you because you're gifted, you're whatever, you're a chosen. Like, some people just know, right? Especially, like, in my family. But, you know, they throw a lot of hate and a lot of jealousy and envy that way, too, and that's why a lot of them won't help, too, because they were like, well, Crystal always figures it out. Things always work out for her, or whatever. They just always do, or whatever. But, see, like, the reason why is because we are connected so much. We're not going to give up the vibration of love and love. Like, it's just, we're not going to do that. So we are going to find a way. We are going to be protected and guided, right? But it's also meant for us to show you, right? And that don't give up faith that things always do work out or whatever. And if